Yo, what's up, guys? Holding Hands with you here, bringing you Black Clover, episode 54 review. This chapter, is basically Yami taking Asta to a doctor for his arms, and we found out that after he dropped him off and he left, the doctor that was supposed to hear his arms, Owen. He's a special doctor that's under the Wizard King. So that shows you how useful and powerful this guy must be. And as useful and as powerful as he is, and we also got the backstory that he also healed Yami into his wounds in the past, and we also see him healing Fodolian's wounds, he told Asta he couldn't heal his wounds. The bone fragments in his arms are too shattered. And on top of that, he has no magic. And on top of that, this is even cursed that broke his arm. So, yeah, Asta's he's devastated. And when he's told that, Finral was actually outside overhearing it. And we saw in his face complete despair. So he went outside and waiting for Asta because he didn't want Asta to know that he was out there in the front hallway. Asta, he left and he's acting like himself, blah blah, happy and cheerful and stuff like that. And Yami comes back from gambling, and all of them go back home, and we find out Yami has a bag full of meat, and they had a barbecue party, and they're eating and getting along, and there's some funny moments between them. There's one funny moment where Yami tells people to start doing tricks. And Gray turns into her regular form, and that was her trick. Goose, we did get a trick for him. Gordon mumbled that he had a trick, but they didn't pick him. We had Finral who went first. He did a teleport punch and hit himself in the back of the head. Vanessa didn't get to do nothing. Jimmy did a couple of tricks. Most of them was her eating meat or posing with meat, so but it was still funny. And then Asta just doing push-ups. That was his trick. But it was funny. It was a good, cute moment between the Black Bulls, showing their character development towards each other and their bonds and how they treat each other and stuff like that. So it was nice seeing that. But then Asta said something weird that everybody was like, what's going on? He was like, good night, guys. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. And Magmus was the first one to say that. When does he ever get tired and not out of energy? And right next to him was Noelle, and she's like, yeah, what's going on? He seems kind of different today. That's when Finral finally spoke up, and we saw anger and tears in his face that he told everybody Asta would never use his arm again. And everybody in the Black Bulls just went from being happy, having a happy moment, to being super, super upset and sad at the same time. So, we had Gray, we had everybody basically almost in tears. So, and Yami was just in the back with a really, really pissed off face. But after that happened, everybody, the next morning came. Asta, his cheerful self, came downstairs, said good morning to everybody. He noticed nobody was in the dinner hall, which is weird because that's usually where they go in the mornings. So he asked Yami, where's everybody at? Yami was like, how do I know? And just kept on reading his paper, not looking at Asta. And Asta felt some Kai outside. When he looked, he saw Noelle and Finral, and he heard them overhearing their conversation. And from what we know from Finral, he had sent a couple of people out to do different missions to hopefully get magic that can break this curse in his arms. And he sent Gordon and Grush to the Royal Library. Magma and Luck are in a dungeon. Trimmy and Gray went to some unknown forest to look for ingredients. And Vanessa, she was the first one to leave, but she disappeared that morning and nobody knew where she went, so. But yeah, he's, Finral was telling this to Noelle. And then Asta's overhearing this, and there's a part where Noelle and Finral it sounds like they're bashing on Asta, but then they pause and then they say something else to like reiterate what they said. And Fenrir was like that no magic user kid from the punk, and Noelle was like, I can't believe that peasant, with no magic is they're gonna be go on the battlefield and get hurt. And Asta's overhearing this, and then they're listening afterwards, and I don't remember what Fenrir said, but it was basically an encouragement for Asta. But what Noelle said was very important, because she was like, even though he has no magic, he works harder than anybody. He's out there on the battlefield, and he encouraged us to fight and get even stronger. So in return, we're going to help him out. And he heard this, and he stopped listening to the conversation between them. And he walks away. And then we see Yami look at him, and Yami like cracks a smile. He didn't crack a smile, but go, huh. He gives one of those like hot smiles. And Asta goes outside. And we don't see his face. He just with his head down. And we get a flashback of Asta's always getting picked on, and people telling him, you have no magic, you're a peasant, you're nobody, you wasn't blessed in this world with nothing, etc., etc. Then when we get back to Asta, the time zone that we're in, we see Asta looking straight up in the sky, crying. And he was like, I always hated the fact and was envious that I didn't have no magic. It always irritates me. But even though I was blessed with no magic, I was blessed with great friends. So that was a beautiful moment to get that characterization on him. That it does irk him that he never had magic. We never really knew how Asta felt about that, when he has magic or not. That he was born no magic, how he felt about that. We never really, he always shook it off and said, I'm still going to be the Wizard King. But he never really answered how he felt about not having magic. So again, this, it was refreshing and clear, and happy to hear it. Then it ends off with Fenrir sending Vanessa somewhere, and when she came to this house that's out of nowhere, and she knocks, she doesn't give the person time to open the door, she just barges in. And we see a red-haired guy in the distance in his house, and he's butt naked. He's like, oh, I just came out the showers, and then she blasts him with water. He's like, but you barged in. But that's just Vanessa. That's her weird, quick moment for her. But overall, that's how the episode ended. Next week, we should get an introduction to the red-haired guy and the other new character, the chick that we seen in the preview. But this was a very good episode. Very sad and emotional, but character development and build-up, which was very great. And I liked it. Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention. In the Royal Library, Goosh and Gordon, where they were reading the books, to find something to break the hex on Asta's arms, which is the curse. Gooch found a book that said how big brothers can become a better big brother to the little sister. And he was going to pick the book. He was tempted, but he decided just to get the book next to it and read it, which was like a hex for breaking book for dummies, which I kind of find that funny, because we have all these dummy books in our world, so seeing something like that similar in the magic world was really funny. But he decided to pick that and was like, it'd be better if he did get healed, because then my sister won't be sad. And then we have Greg dialoguing to himself. Not Greg, Gordon, my fault. We have him dialoguing to himself saying, wow, you picked something else over your sister, which he never did before. So that was also character development on his part. And basically everyone got character development. But the biggest ones would probably be Asta, number 1, number 2, Grush, and 3 would probably have to be a tie between Fenrir and Noelle. So, but yeah, everyone from the Black Bulls got character development this episode. We saw how they felt towards Asta, how they reacted, and what they're doing about it, and stuff like that. And it's just very nice to see that. So even though Asta has no magic power, he was blessed with really good friends. So, and a lot of times in life, having a group of good friends, it's more beneficial, not just emotional wise, but a lot of times physically wise as well, than having power or money, because those things could be gained even if you don't have them. But having good friends and family, that's a whole nother ball game. But again, this was a great episode. 10 out of 10. Loved it. Really good character build. Can't wait for next episode. But leave your thoughts, comments, and opinions down below. Tell me what you thought of the episode. Tell me what you expected for next episode. Share with your family and friends. And please hit that notification bell so you can be ranked every time I post a video. And if you haven't seen the episode, go see it. Great episode. If you already said it, if you already read it, seen it, see it again. But this is all I have for y'all this time, guys, and my battery's about to die, so I'll see you in the next one.